Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next copy of our Aim for Agriculture series. So as you all know that we are having Aim for Agriculture series in which we are having daily answer writing practice and weekly full tests. So today we are going to discuss a full test, that is full test number 8. So actually in full test, it was just as UPSC asks. There were 8 questions in which we have to you have to attempt any five. So let's see what were the questions that were attempted by the student and how the student has approached those answers. And by analyzing these types of answers, you can also enhance your answer writing skills. You can get to know how to introduce, how to conclude, how to write certain points, how to write certain examples, how to structure your answer, how to use certain diagrams wherever necessary. So all these things can be very helpful. So let's start. So the first question is, enlist the organelles of plant body with brief description of Golgi body. So we can see the student has mentioned the plant cell, so very well drawn, and we will see the organelles. As we will be discussing a lot of question today, must tell you that I will be just discussing the important points. जो important points हैं वही मैं discuss करूँगा, and if you want to read the answers in detail, you can simply pause the video at several intervals and read it. Okay, so let's start. Organelles of plant body. The student has mentioned nucleus, cell wall, cell membrane, chloroplasts, mitochondria, vacuole, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum. Two types of endoplasmic reticulum, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And as the question was asked about Golgi body, because you have to describe a bit about Golgi body. The well drawn structure of Golgi body is represented here, and its functions have been also mentioned, that is cell packaging and distribution center. Here the proteins and lipids received from the endoplasmic reticulum are processed, modified, sorted, and packaged. So well written answer, and again appropriately concluded. So now let's move to the second question. The second question was, discuss the applications of mass selection in varietal improvement. So what is mass selection? It is the method used in plant varietal improvement where large number of plants with desirable traits are selected. Their seeds are pooled to produce next generation. So the name suggests mass selection. That is, we are taking a large number of plants here. So what are its application? Obviously, it can be used in disease resistance. It can be used in enhancing yield potential by selecting plants with superior traits. It can be used in improving stress tolerance. It can be used in enhancing quality trait, that could be flavor, grain size, nutritional content. It enhances the adaptation, especially to different weather climates. It improves maturity timing. Okay, it enhances pest resistance. So overall, very well written answer, and you can see that in every points, good examples have been mentioned. Okay, so whenever you add examples to your points, it enhances your answers, and that helps. So you can read the examples how the student has approached certain examples. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, explain in detail the Krebs cycle. So what is Krebs cycle? It is also known as TCA cycle, that is tricarboxylic acid cycle or citric acid cycle. It takes place in mitochondria of the cell. Now you can see the detailed steps of Krebs cycle have been uh, described using a diagram. So you can see that how glucose is converted into certain things. Okay, so you can see different uh, processes, that is citrate, isocitrate to cataglycerate, how they are converted have been very nicely mentioned. But what happened, the student has drawn a well diagram and then moves to the products of Krebs cycle. But if the student has explained the diagram in a paragraph or just 5-6 lines here, in listing the key points of the diagram, so it could have enhanced more. Okay, so whenever you add a diagram, try to explain the diagram in if you want to explain in brief, that's okay, but try to explain it at least 4 or 5 lines, the key processes of the diagram. That helps. Now products have been mentioned, that is 3 NADH, 1 FADH2, 1 ATP, 2 CO2. So and importance have been also mentioned, but you can see in the question, importance have been not directly asked. It had asked the details, explain in detail the Krebs cycle. Okay, so the Krebs cycle, these cycles would be explained in detail instead of focusing more on importance and other things, because if this cycle have been the things about this cycle have been explained here, that would be more better. Although I am not saying that the students who have mentioned the importance is wrong, but it could be avoided and more focus would be given to the things directly asked in the question. So I hope you understand it. Now let's move to the next question. The next question was, what is a synthetic variety? Discuss the operations involved in production of synthetic varieties. So as the name suggests, synthetic variety refers to the population of plants created by intercrossing a reselected group of genetic diverse and superior individuals such as inbred lines, clones or hybrids. So these are the things which are crossed in synthetic variety. Okay, that could be done for high yield, disease resistance, adaptability. So fairly introduced. Now, what are the operations involved in production of synthetic varieties? So these operations are, first of all we will select, then we will intercross. If you want to read the answers, you can simply pause the video and read it. Okay. Then we will evaluate, then we will again select, recombination should be done, then multiplication is done. So very well written answer. All the basic points, all the fair, all the needed things in the answer have been covered. Now let's move to the next question. The next question was, write a note on molecular marker approach in crop improvement. So what is molecular marker approach? It, here there is the use of DNA based markers to identify and select specific genes or genomic regions associated with desirable traits in crops. So here we used DNA based markers to identify desirable traits. Now what are the key aspects of molecular markers? The types have been mentioned: RFLP, SSR. We all know those. These are the types of molecular markers: AFLP, SNP, marker assisted selection have been mentioned, quantitative trait loci mapping has been mentioned, that is QTL mapping has been mentioned, marker assisted backcrosses have been mentioned. So a very well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, what is self incompatibility? Discuss its various mechanism, also discuss its importance in plant breeding. So you all know what self-incompatibility is. We have discussed several times about self-incompatibility and male sterility. In self-incompatibility, the plant produces the pollen grain, but that pollen grain is unable to pollinate. Okay, but in male sterility, what happens? The plant is not able to only produce the pollen grain. So it is a common difference between self-incompatibility and male sterility. So this is what self-incompatibility is. I hope you understand. It was understand. It was coined by Stout in 1970. Now, what are the mechanism of self-incompatibility? Actually, there are two theories. First one is the complementary hypothesis, which was proposed by Batman. You can pause and read this. And the second one was, and you can see how nicely the student has explained it using the diagram. And now the second one is oppositional hypothesis. Okay, so both the theories have been well mentioned. Now, what are its importance? It is used for uh, fruitfulness. Okay, to ensure fruitfulness in fruit trees. It is used in seed production, hybrid seed production, obviously similar types of points. So very well written answer. You can pause and read it, and again appropriately concluded. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, describe vertical and horizontal resistance. Give an account of basics principle behind the resistance. So we all know what vertical resistance is. That is, here the plant is able to resist specific strains of races of pathogens. Okay, it is conferred by single genes or resistant genes. Its basic principles have been mentioned. That is, it operates on gene for gene hypothesis. You can pause and read the answers. Examples have been mentioned. Advantages have been mentioned. Limitations have been mentioned. So very well written answer. Now, what horizontal resistance is? Okay, it involves the plant's ability to resist a wide range of pathogen strains or races. Okay, So you can see the in horizontal the range is wide as compared to vertical resistance. In vertical there is only the similar kind of families which the plant is able to resist, but in horizontal resistance or horizontal resistance the plant is able to resistance wide range of varieties. You can see basic principle, we all know that it is broader than vertical resistance. That has been mentioned, well written points, you can pause and read the answers. Again, its examples have been mentioned how horizontal resistance works in rice as when related to blast disease. Okay, its advantages and limitations have been mentioned. So a very well written answer. Advantages and limitations have been mentioned. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, give a detailed account of inversion type structural abbreviation. So inversions are types of structural abbreviation where segment of chromosome breaks off, flips around, that is inverts, and reattaches with itself in reverse orientation. So what happens? It breaks off and reorientates in reverse orientation. That is, it reverses. Okay, after breaking off. That is what the name suggests. Inversion type in inverts. Now, what are its key principles? So actually there are two types of inversions. First one is pericentric and next one is paracentric. And its impact on meiosis have been mentioned, its genetic linkage have been mentioned, advantages have been mentioned, limitations have been mentioned. So you can simply pause the video and read the answers. And again appropriately concluded. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, write down the physiological effects of auxins in plants. So you all know auxin is a very important growth hormone and its physiological effects have been mentioned. It is highly useful in cell elongation, it's useful in apical dominance, it is useful in root formation, it is useful in vascular differentiation, it is useful in fruit development, abscission prevention. So very well written answer and again appropriately concluded. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, differentiate between C3 plants and C4 plants. Okay, so we all know there are some common differentiations between C3 and C4. For example, the primary carbon fixation in C3 is through Revesco enzyme, but in C4 it is through PEP carboxylase. Okay, here you can see 3-phosphoglycerate is the first stable product, while in C4 it is oxaloacetate. Here it is Kelvin cycle, here it is C4 pathway followed by Kelvin cycle. Photorespiration have been mentioned, about chloroplasts have been mentioned. So you can simply pause and read it. These are some of the basic points, and I think every agriculture student should know it. Optimum temperature has been mentioned. We all know that C4 plants are adapted to more warmer temperatures. Okay, examples have been mentioned, and you can see a very well made diagram, so that enhances the answer. You can see how the student has approached the diagram here, although it could be time taking. So you should always keep in mind that whenever you are making those diagrams, you have appropriate amount of time or not. If you have time, you can approach this because this will obviously enhance your marks. But if you don't have, so do not take risk because it could impact your another answers. So please keep this thing in mind. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, describe the principles of fruits and vegetables preservation. So first important principle obviously is temperature control, that can be done through refrigeration, freezing. Moisture reduction is important, drying, dehydration, evaporation, concentration. All these things are done for moisture reduction because in high amount of moisture there will be high chances of fungal diseases, pest attacks. So these things needs to be avoided. Chemical preservation, that is use of preservatives, bioacidification it can also be done. Physical methods, use of canning, irradiation, modified atmosphere by modifying the atmosphere, for example vacuum packing, controlled atmospheric storage. Biological methods can be used such as fermentation. So very well written answer, and all the aspects have been nicely covered. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss the scope and importance of roof gardening in cities. So although through recent times it is highly in use, it is promoted by green buildings and other things. So what is the scope of roof building, we will see. Obviously it will lead to urban greening, It can urban agriculture in roof can be done in the roofs by growing certain kinds of vegetables, certain kinds of creepers, climbers. All these things can be done. Environmental benefit, obviously it will reduce the heat. We can see they reduce the heat island effect in the cities. You can see in some examples, I think a student has used for example roof gardens of Mumbai. Okay, roof gardens of Mumbai to increase green cover. For example, you can see roof garden in Delhi to combat rising temperature. So its examples would be more specific. It looks like vague. Okay, roof gardens will be obviously present in many areas in Mumbai, Delhi, but you have to give some certain examples such as roof garden in certain area of Delhi has impacted by reducing the temperature of the area by 1 degree, 2 degrees. So all these things, specific examples would be there instead of writing vague examples. Okay, so you should keep this in mind. So other important points such as energy efficiency, biodiversity. By energy efficiency, obviously, if you have roof greening, you have plants on the roof, the heat on your building will be lesser, and the electricity consumptions by use of ACs and other things, air conditioners will be lower. So all these things are directly related to each other, with each other, and obviously nicely written. Importance have been also mentioned. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss the strength and weakness of PDS, that is public distribution system in India. Okay, so we all know what PDS is. Okay, so this government distributes the various basic food grains to the vulnerable sections of the society, those who are in need, at very less prices, very subsidized prices. Now, what are its strengths? Obviously, it leads to food security. It leads to price stabilization. It supports the farmers by ensuring MSP. It helps in targeted delivery of benefits. Employment generation is there. Weaknesses have been also mentioned, such as leakages and corruption, exclusion and inclusion errors, quality issues are there, regional disparities are there, administrative challenges are there. So, we'll let an answer, and you can see way forward have been also mentioned. Now, let's move to the next question. So, the next question is, discuss the major constraint of food production in India. How will national food policy help in sustaining food production? So, what are the major constraints? Obviously, land degradation is there, water scarcity, the problem of water scarcity is there, climate change is there, land holdings have been fragmented, then infrastructure is not up to date, the infrastructure is inadequate, okay, low access to technology, pest and disease outbreaks. So all these are things which are impacting the food production in India. Okay, I hope you understand it, and you can pause the video at several intervals and you can read the answers. Now, how national food policy can help sustain food security? Obviously, first it will enhance sustainable agriculture practices. It will enhance water management and irrigation practices that could be used sustainably. Infrastructure development can be done. Research and development can be done. Support to small farmers. So well written points and obviously well concluded. So you can read the answers. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, write a detailed note on incidence and management of fruit fly in cucurbits and guava. So you can see in incidents, life cycle and behavior have been mentioned. Seasonal seasonal incidents have been mentioned. Economic impact have been mentioned. Around 30 to 100% crop losses could be through this fruit fly. Now, how can you manage these cucurbits? Obviously, we can use cultural practices such as sanitation, hygienic fields, crop rotation. We can do physical control by bagging and pheromone traps, biological control by use of parasitoids, other entomopathogenic nematodes. Okay, chemical control by using bat sprays or other chemical sprays. So, well, an answer. In management in guava has been also mentioned. The incidents have been mentioned, that similar life cycle and behavior. The student has mentioned the similar structure, used a similar structure, and it looks good also. Economic impacts have been mentioned, and again you can see that, and you can see here some data are mentioned. For example, 80% of loss. So as I always tell you in every answer writing videos, that whenever you are using certain kind of data, if you remember, if you don't know that it's another case, but if you remember or try to write the source of data, if the source is written, the data looks more genuine and you get good marks. Okay, that is why I always give a plus on it. Again, in management in Guava, again same structure has been used: cultural, physical, biological. So very well written answer. Chemical. So you can read the videos. Sorry, you can read the answers. Obviously, how will you read the videos? So now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss the implications of auxins and gibberellins with examples. So what are the application of auxins? It can be used in root formation and propagation. It can be used in fruit set and development. It can be used in weed control. We all know about 2,4-D. It can be used in prevention of premature fruit drop, tissue culture. So well written points. Applications of gibberellins can be used in stem elongation. For example, it is highly used in sugarcane. It can be used for breaking seed dormancy. It can be used for induction of parthenotherapy, increasing fruit size, regulation of flowering time. So well written points. I hope you are reading the answers at several intervals, because the video will be getting very low if I go and explain each and every answer line by line. That is why I am just giving you a brief. You can simply pause and read the answers. Next question is, describe the year-round production technology of chrysanthemum. Obviously, here controlled environment have been mentioned, photo period sensitivity have been mentioned. Obviously, year-round production will be in certain controlled environment also. That environment have been highlighted. You can pause and read this. Its propagation have been mentioned. Nutrient management have been mentioned. How fertilizer is to be applied. Irrigation have been mentioned. Pinching have been mentioned, which is one of the major practices when it's come to some flowers. Disbreeding have been mentioned. Integrated pest management have been mentioned. Harvesting have been mentioned. Post-harvest care have been mentioned. So well written answers. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss the causes of post-harvest deterioration of flowers. Elaborate technique to enhance shelf life of flowers. So obviously, why there is post-harvest deterioration in flowers? Obviously, because of water stress. Many times when the water is not present in abundant quality, you will see wilting in flowers. It could be thalline damage. Obviously, due to thalline, the flowers get into bad condition at early stages. Okay, they will not able to survive for longer periods after they are cut down. Microbial contamination could be there. Temperature stress could be there. Mechanical damage could be there. And how can we enhance shelf life of flowers? Through proper hydration, that is proper water content is available to flowers. By hydrating solutions can be used, sugars can be used. Okay, temperature management needs to be done. The 2 to 5 degree temperature, we always tell 0 to 5 degrees the temperature should be maintained, and not towards 0, because freezing temperatures are not that good also. Okay, the 1 to 5 or 2 to 5 is good range of temperature. Ethylene innovation needs to be done. Okay, example of example of carnation have been mentioned. Antimicrobial treatment needs to be done. Controlled atmosphere storage can be provided. Packaging innovations can be done. Chemical preservatives can be used. So well written answers. You can pause and read it. Now let's move to the next question and the last question of today. That is, discuss the integrated management practices of insect, pest, and diseases in crops. So we all know that there is huge loss of crop due to of these insect pests and diseases. For example, as per FAO, there is 40% of global crop production is lost due to pests annually only. So integrated practices management have been mentioned. That is integration of varied elements such as biological, cultural, chemical, good sanitation practices. Everything is integrated. Mechanical. So you can pause and read it. In culturally, we can use trap cropping, intercropping. In biological, we can use predators, parasitoids, pathogens, which can impact and affect the pests. In mechanical, hand picking, light traps, pheromone traps, these things can be used. For diseases also, same cultural use of resistant varieties have been also mentioned. Okay, sanitation, biological control, chemical control, so everything has been well mentioned. So I hope you read the answers at different intervals, and this answer copy would have helped you in analysis of your answers also, and how to enhance your answer writing skills also. So it is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis, and if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.